Buenos días o buenas tardes. Hoy es miércoles el 21 de octubre. La meta de hoy es we're going to identify in context all 6 conjugations for the verb tener, which is a new verb which means to have. We've used it a couple of different ways, and we'll notice we'll even use that when we talk about age. We'll go over that more tomorrow. So here's our plan for today. We do have trabajo de timbre. I want to review our subject pronouns. That will help us to get our conjugations down. Make sure you check your answers there. You can kind of set yourself a 5-minute timer. And if you finish a little early, you can take a look at some resources in Estudio Libre. And then we want to click this link. This will get us to a Pear Deck. We've done a couple of these. We can just skip that. And so you can navigate and make sure you get down our conjugations. Those will be the ones in bold, and it'll update with each new conjugation. Okay, and then the last 3 slides, there are some review questions that I want to see some answers for. Okay, and then we do have practice. It'll ask you to make a copy, but what you'll do is we're going to practice identifying not only when we would use tener, but also when we're going to use ser. And so one little note here, and it doesn't go over it too much in the slides, and so I just want to go over number 9. Okay, this one we will use tener, and again, we'll go over that a little more tomorrow. I'm sorry that I've been out the last 2 days, and I had a concussion, and so things are a little are not as planned as well as I would have liked. Okay, and so that's just one little note here. We'll use tener on that. But with all of these, what you'll do is you'll look at how it's written in the context, and you want to decide whether we're using ser or we're using tener, and then we can put the correct conjugation for each. So look for things that the subject would be, and that's when we want to use ser. So we're looking for adjectives, and with these, that's pretty much all we're going to look for. And then for tener, we want to look at things that we have. Okay, so that's our new verb, to have. And then the first section, I didn't go over the first section. We're matching up kind of like the translations depending on the subject that we're using. So you'll match those up with the correct one. All right, so this will be a participation assignment. I want you to spend a little bit of time also reviewing family, which is something that we, again, would have done probably Monday or Tuesday as a class, but I wasn't here. So I want you to kind of just review a couple of things you can do. There are some kind of games here, and so you can do this one. The gravity is kind of fun. You just have to type it in before these little asteroids start falling, I think. So you can also do the test mode where it gives you it makes a test for you. That might be good for some. Also, if we didn't finish up our listening practice, that might be a good thing for us to finish up today. I'm giving us kind of an extension. Originally, that was going to be due today, but just because I wasn't here, I'll kind of give us an extension where we can have that ready for tomorrow. A good number of people finished it anyway. I noticed a lot of people had it set as a draft, so you didn't actually submit it. So I wanted to make sure that people were aware of that before I started putting in zeros for that. Okay, so make sure you finish that up if you didn't get a chance. If you did finish it, we'll finish for the rest of the class doing Estudio Libre. I didn't get a culture segment ready in time, so we'll worry about Panama again tomorrow. All right. This has been here, and I mentioned it once, but I want to make sure that if you haven't already, make sure you make a copy of this vocab list for yourself, so you can use that as a resource where you can put different notes on it and such, and that'll be a good resource for us. Okay.